This is Birdo. He thinks he's a girl and would rather be called Birdetta. That is Yoshi, a dinosaur whose gender isn't quite specified but can lay fertile eggs. And these are facts about the true gender of Yoshi. Most people probably subconsciously bestowed the pronoun he onto Yoshi, but is that actually factually correct? I grew up in the early 90s. The world was even more so male-centric back then. Most stories around movies and video games share the commonality of a male hero saving a damsel in distress of some sort. Subconsciously, we frame the context of males being the lead role, the driving force, and the hero of the stories. Mario definitely fits that mold, so therefore Yoshi, being his valiant sidekick, would too. Right? Well, let's dig into Yoshi's history and find out. Originally conceptualized for the NES, but due to time limitations and hardware constrictions, the realization of Yoshi was first seen with the release title of the Super Nintendo in Super Mario World. In the North American instruction manual, Yoshi is referred to as he, him. Looking at Yoshi's Island, again we see the pronoun him. That's actually pretty straightforward. Mario Party for the N64 also used he for Yoshi, right? That's consistent. What about Mario Golf? Oh, perfect! A blue circle behind him indicating male. Easy. But in the Japanese version, in the instruction manual for Super Mario World, they use no specific gender pronouns. Therefore, to the Japanese consumers, Yoshi's gender is not announced. So what gives? Alright, my friends, we now have two choices. You can stop here and rest assured that based on the evidence so far that Yoshi is indeed male, or you can join me diving deeper into canonical realms of official Nintendo media of exploring ideas such as Yoshi and asexual reproduction, Yoshi actually being female, and the possibility of Yoshi not having a gender at all. Ah, looks like you stayed around. How brave. Alright, in the words of Mario, here we go! Let's look at Super Smash Bros. This seems to be a place where the universe melts together nicely. The English version of Melee states, "To make up for his lack of powerful airborne attacks, Yoshi had a miraculous jumping ability." Yet, in this one, the English text avoids mentioning Yoshi's gender altogether, and instead uses they. But in this case, I'd argue it's more about representing the whole lot of them, like the Yoshis from Yoshi's Island in all the colors. Looking at this trophy in Japanese, the description says, Yoshi is neither male nor female. And it goes on to say that Yoshis reproduce asexually, meaning they don't require outside sources to bring forward a fertilized life-bearing egg. Jellyfish also have this power and can use it to loop into the realms of immortality, but that is a different topic for a different video. This asexual reproduction is verified by the Chef minigame in Game & Watch Galleries 2 and 4. Supply Yoshi with properly cooked nourishment and Yoshi will produce an egg. Continue this and the egg will hatch into another Yoshi, which takes the place of its parent, and the cycle continues. Having the ability to asexually reproduce does not mean that one is without a biological sex or gender. Although the more multicellular a life form is, the more complicated the definition becomes. For example, the intracellular complexities of your sister's boyfriend who uses Mountain Dew as mouthwash versus that of an earthworm. Thankfully, only one of those can asexually reproduce. But I digress. How about we see what Snake, Palutena, and Mr. Miyamoto have to say. Snake deduces that Yoshi must be female, but is quickly corrected.
It lays eggs and throws them right, then it must be female.
Actually, it's a he. At least, that's what it says.
It talks.
Yes!
And here's what the High Order of Kid Icarus has to say.
It's Yoshi!
Let me get this straight. Yoshi lays eggs, but he's actually male?
Shouldn't you know that? Oh, goddess of nature?
There's nothing natural about this guy.
Yeah, I see your point.
Well, all living beings contain both female and male elements. It appears that Yoshi is no different.
I think Palutena has a right saying that all living creatures contain both male and female elements. What an oddly elegant thing to add to a game. Yoshi is considered male across most parts of the world. The original Yoshi had no set gender in any text, aside from small hints such as using the masculine pronouns boku, as seen here. We also see the masculine pronoun used in the story mode for Mario Party 3. Despite all the mounds of evidence, here is what the official record has to say. The stories in The Legend of Zelda may not match up as the series progresses. We actually spend a lot of time trying to make them match up though. It would make things a lot easier if the players said, oh, that doesn't really matter. You would rather spend your energy making game elements rather than the story. That's right. Sometimes people ask whether Yoshi is a boy or a girl. If I answer, probably a boy, then they say, so a boy is laying eggs? But the moment I say Yoshi lays eggs, so Yoshi must be a girl, they'll say, then Yoshi's voice needs to sound more like a girl's. But I want to make a video game without having to worry about such background information. Take the animated series Popeye for example. In old cartoons like those, the roles of characters were different every time. What Miyamoto is saying in regards to Popeye is that in old cartoons, consistency for the sake of canonical universe building was not something people thought about. The archetype of the character was set but vastly versatile. Look at Mickey Mouse. He used to be a straight up asshole. So for Yoshi, by pigeonholing him into one gender or another, could potentially limit the options for this character and have people disillusioned to thinking, why would a insert gender here character do or wear or be seen doing that? So where does all this information lead us? First, let me ask you your opinion. What do you think Yoshi's gender is? Does it matter? Did I miss anything? Here's what I think. Yoshi is a dinosaur and social constructs don't apply. Thanks for stopping by. The majority of the world, for all intents and purposes, view Yoshi as a male, but with some tongue-in-cheek, Miyamoto has yet to officially confirm anything. And you know what? I kind of like that he hasn't, and I hope that he never does. So for now, we'll just call Yoshi a male. I'll leave it at that. If you missed the first video on Birdo's gender, check this video out. And if you want a deeper dive into gender, this video about Pokemon and not having gender might suit you. Thanks for watching, friends, and till we meet again, later days.